Hi, this is Christy Brewer, and I am from Aspen Valley Senior Homes. I'm also the co-author of the book Home to Home, a senior planning guide. It walks you through ways to sell your home, ways to stay in your home, the different types of senior housing, and how to pay for those options. So today I just wanted to walk you through the three different types of senior housing facilities. But I want to start out by letting you know that there was a survey done by AARP, and the results indicated that 90% of people really just want to stay in their own home. So that is the best case scenario. However, what if that doesn't work for you and you do have to move, or your loved one has to move? Then you want to make sure that you're making a good decision, because that is a pretty big decision to make, I would think. Um, so some things that could happen if you're not quite prepared is, one, you could overspend. You don't want to go through your whole budget finding a facility that's maybe you think is fabulous, and then overspending and paying for things you don't need. For example, can you still do your own laundry? Well, then maybe you don't need for them to do your laundry, and you don't need that extra cost. You want to be able to do as many of the things independently as you can. The second thing is, you just want to make sure that you're going to be happy. It helps to plan ahead, and I know a lot of us aren't very good at that because we kind of get in that mindset of, oh, it's going to be okay, nothing's going to happen, I'm just going to live out the rest of my days like this, and then there's an emergency, and then your family or loved ones are having to make these decisions for you. So if you can plan ahead so that you know the facilities that are your favorite, and pass that on to your family. And thirdly, if it's you or a loved one that's moving you in somewhere, you just want to make sure that they're feeling safe and respected in the facility that was chosen for them to be at. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the three different types of facilities. So the first one I want to talk about is independent living, and that's just like it's called, independent. A lot of times I think of these as like 55 and older communities. So if you have lost a loved one and you want to feel maybe a little more sense of community somewhere, then this might be a good choice for you. Or if you just want to downsize, or you don't want any of that maintenance of taking care of a house, which I'm almost already done with that kind of stuff. So an independent apartment or garden home or townhome might be the way to go. They offer a lot of different amenities. So some of them are the really, really big ones that have golf courses and tennis and swim and pickleball and all of that kind of thing. And then you have the smaller ones that still offer amenities, but it just may be on a smaller scale. Like maybe they have a clubhouse and they provide bingo and exercise classes or music, or everybody in the community gets together for a potluck, that kind of thing. So those are independent living situations like that. The second type I want to talk to you about is assisted living. And assisted living is just like it sounds. You need a little bit of assistance, and usually it's with your activities of daily living. And those would be things like bathing, dressing, eating, transferring, walking. So if those are starting to be a problem for you, then you may need a little bit of assistance. There's some different types of assisted living, and that could be the big corporate ones that are like more like a hotel and offer a whole bunch of amenities, as well as a lot of different care for medication management and laundry and housekeeping and meal prep, that kind of thing. Another type of assisted living is a residential assisted living, and that's like a house. So basically you're living in a home. It could be in a neighborhood just like you grew up in or live in currently. They offer a very good caregiver ratio because there's usually only 6 to 18 people living in that home. They also will offer all of those amenities just on a smaller scale, as far as, laundry and medication management, cooking, meals provided, that kind of thing, activities. So those are the two types. You have the corporate hotel-like assisted living and the residential care assisted living. Memory care is another aspect that falls under assisted living, because if you're having some sort of memory impairment, you may have trouble with your activities of daily living, including things like driving, shopping, meal prep, medication management, that kind of thing. But you don't really need any medical care. So it can be in the same, it could be in the same building as an assisted living facility. It could be a wing of a skilled nursing facility, or sometimes it's its own entity and its own building for memory care. The third type of senior housing facility is a skilled nursing facility, and you might think of that maybe as like a nursing home, or some people might call it a rehab facility. And that is when a lot of times it can be short-term stay or a long-term stay. People may say, I'm going to rehab from the hospital because they have needed some therapy to get them stronger and get them back to their baseline, basically, and maybe they still have some medical needs like a feeding tube or IV therapy that's needed. And those skilled nursing facilities have medical staff in the building 24/7. So these are the three types of senior housing. You have independent housing, assisted living, which memory care falls under that, and skilled nursing facilities. So I'm going to break these each down in a separate video and give a lot more detail for each one, and offer some questions from our workbook and our book that gives you things to ask. So you can ask questions when you call on the phone, or you can ask questions when you do a virtual tour or an in-person tour, and questions that you might want to even ask staff members that you're able to talk to that work there. So hope you learned something today, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.